other half of the Israelites over here on this side. So I feel that I'm looking at
It's also
left of the Sea of Reeds.
yeah. It's kind of like school. Everybody goes to the back row.
Oh, okay, okay. All right,
We all
well,
have
you'd be
our
only
favorites.
trying to, there are good seats still available. I can see here, okay. As long as you're comfortable. Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Can everyone hear me all right? Okay, Shabbat Shalom and Bruchim Habaim, which means welcome in plural form. Welcome to all of you, and Bruchim Hashivim, because of course you have returned here, you have come back to Solel for Shabbat, to be together, to be with your community. I'm Bill, I'm Rabbi Bill Tepper. I serve the Reformed congregation in Kingston on a part-time basis, but I also do a fair amount of work. I do guest rabbi work and Judaic teaching in Toronto and in the greater Toronto area as well. And I've been to Solel before, and it's always a pleasure to be here. This has been a particularly difficult week. And I don't think I have to regurgitate, if you know what I mean. But you being here tonight and everything else that you do for Solel and for the community and for yourselves and those you care for, all of that counts. All of that is what sustains us. Because even if it has been an extremely difficult week, we're still praying, we're still blessing, we're still singing, we're still schmoozing, we're still learning, we're still teaching, and we're still expressing our caring concerns for one another, checking in on one another. So that keeps us going, just doing what we've always been doing, notwithstanding all the bad news. And just before we begin with our opening song, I have an item that I have brought from home and to pass around, and I'll get it at the end of the evening, at the end of the service. I did a program a number of weeks ago on Marc Chagall, the Russian, French, Jewish painter, and as part of my research and preparation for that program, I learned that Marc Chagall had not only created many works that depicted narratives or episodes from the Hebrew Bible, but that he had also created his own Hebrew Bible. Now, there's a caveat. This is not the entire Hebrew Bible. It's Genesis, Exodus, and Song of Songs. Just those 3 books. But this edition of the Bible, and it's an English translation, is full of reproductions of his paintings that all depict, as I said, episodes, narratives from the Hebrew Bible. And it's a beautiful book. And when I learned that it was out there, well, I was on my Amazon screen faster than you could say. You know what I mean. So I'll pass this around and I'll get it back at the end of the evening. Okay? So with that, we begin with our opening song, and it can be found on page 181 in your Siddur Netibot Tefillah, and it's at the very top of the page there. It's Ki Yishmera Shabbat. Ruth will honor us with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. And this is page 21 and 22 of our Siddur.
We read responsibly at the top of page 21. This Shabbat sheds light upon us, light for the days to come. We have leisure by which to see the world with new and grateful eyes. We have time now to look inward, and now we are free to embrace family and friends, to make our lives simpler and more complete. We think of our homes and those we love. We call to mind the deep affections of home. How great are all blessings and rich, all cares and sorrows softened. May the hearts of parents and children always be turned to one another, that our homes may be sanctuaries of love and devotion. May we use the Shabbat to bring happiness to our family life and blessing to our people. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
Page 24 for Yedid Nefesh. Page 27, we read together the text at the very top of the page. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week we live under the tyranny of things of space. On Shabbat we try to become attuned to holiness in time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, page 29 for Lecha Dodi and our formal welcoming of Shabbat. And in addition to the refrain of this beautiful song, we will sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, led by Albert. No matter how many times I have sung and participated in Lecha Dodi on Kabbalat Shabbat, I still see her, that beautiful bride, coming in the doors. Wherever I am, wherever I happen to be, celebrating Shabbat, I see her come through. She's with us for the next 25 hours, so let's make the most of it. Page 34, we read responsibly. How can I sing of day and night when it is God who formed them? How can I sing of heaven and earth when it is God who created them? How can I sing of mountains and hills when it is God who planted them? How can I sing of seas and deserts when it is God who got them? How can I sing of earth and its fullness when it is God who bade them be? I shall sing to God who imagined all and is beyond all. It is to God I shall sing. On page 36, please rise as best as you are able for the bar float. page 37, and Eugenie, would you like to read for us the English text, and we'll read responsibly with you at the top of page 37.
We praise you, eternal our God, whose presence fills creation. Your word brings all light into twilight. You open the gates of dawn with wisdom, and with foresight you make time pass and seasons change. Your plan sets the course of the stars in the sky, creating day and night, turning light into darkness, and darkness into light. You make the day fade away, and bring on the night, separating day and night. You rule the hosts of heaven. We praise you, eternal one, who brings us harmony and light.
Page 38. Page 38 for Ahavat Olam. Please join me in Bahat, also on page 40. in the same key. Miracles do happen. To matters now. On bottom of page 42, Emma, would you lead us in the reading? This is a responsive reading at the bottom of page 42.
I, Miriam, stand at the sea and turn to face the desert stretching endless and still.
My heart reaches the sky,
My mouth open, I stop. Where are the words? Where the melody? In a moment of panic, my vision goes blank. Can I take a step without knowing a destination? Will I falter? Will I fall? Will the ground sink away from under me?
the song's not formed, how can I sing? To take the first steps, singing songs, to close my eyes and dive into unknown waters, for a moment knowing nothing, risking all, but then to discover the waters are friendly, the ground is firm, and the song I like to sing.
Page 44 for Micha Mocha. Page 44, as you redeemed Israel and saved us from arms stronger than our own, so may you redeem all those who are still oppressed and persecuted. We praise you, Eternal One, the Redeemer of Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Page 46, in the middle of the page, is the Shamro. Page 49 is Hatzi Kaddish and our praising of God. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Oma divrachu teviam lich malchutei. Shabbat, Bit Har, Bit Ramam, Bit Naseh, Bit Hadar, Bit Ale, Bit Alal, Shemei Dekudsha, Leila Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata, and please rise again as best as you are able on page 50 for Hamidah. You may be seated. Please turn, okay, I'm sorry, here, okay, page 55, I'm sorry. And Linda, would you read for us responsibly the text in the bottom half of the page? Where is this week vanished?
Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever experience the joy of creating, the safety, as is Lord? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat ours. And now
Shabbat is come. Can it help me to withdraw for a while from the life of time?
can it contain to retreat the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life? When all days end in Shabbat abide.
Let me learn to pause only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter my heart on this day. On this day, Shabbat abide.
At the top of page 57 is Ritzeh.
Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu, Ge'amar Yisrael, U'zefilata ve'amati gaveh, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'avir sheminato be'Zion.
On page 59 at the top of the page, and your name is?
Michelle.
Michelle, right. Can you lead us responsibly in the reading? Mount Scott, on top of page 59.
I saw Jerusalem from Mount Scott, and she was perfect and whole, little yet limitless, and her borders contained a net uncontained.
Eastward to Judah, rapidly to our ministering priests, silently meditate, blessing, burning snail shell incense.
And on the hills and pits the embers still whispering burn, as if spice were being perfumed there in the twilight, how the roasting of the sun's coals on censers shows.
All Jerusalem is for me, that the silver roll kept on the altar, that each nation and guardian might come and write their thoughts, and take it with an ember.
Now at the bottom of page 59 and into page 60 is our Hodoah rubric of the Amida. And Hodoah is a Hebrew word meaning thank you, gratitude, appreciation. So with that, and in anticipation of the reading on page 60, we'll open up the floor for just a moment, and I invite you to share with the rest of us something that you're especially thankful for, grateful for on this Shabbat night. Don't be shy. Arlene?
My son has landed safely in China, so I feel the flight, 13 hours, I'm glad he's safe.
I hope he had a few books to read. I was never spending that much time on a plane. That's great, that's great. Something else you're thankful for? Something, yes, Jeannie?
I'm grateful to my husband for allowing me to come to Erev Shabbat services every week, taking care of 3 of the children, one being his 1-year-old. And tonight specifically, I'm even more grateful because he will be putting her to bed.
Okay. Good deal. Okay. Someone else? Anyone? Yes.
Grateful
Albert.
for my grandchildren, for my 2 grandsons that were so happy to see me tonight. It was beautiful.
But they're always happy to see you, aren't you?
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Okay. And when we stop and think about it, I mean, sometimes it's a little hard. Sometimes it's hard, but if we really stop and there are things that we have to be thankful for. So now, on page 60, we read together in English. We gratefully acknowledge, eternal God, that you are our creator and preserver, the rock of our life and our protecting shield. We give thanks to you for our lives which are in your hands, for our souls which are in your keeping, for your wondrous providence and your continuous goodness, which you bestow upon us day by day. Truly, your mercies never fail, and your love and kindness never cease. Therefore, we put our trust in you. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, all who live are permanently praise your name in truth. Eternal God, the means of goodness, we give you thanks and praise. Page 62. Page 62, we continue responsively with Radiant is the World's Soul. Radiant is the world's soul, full of splendor, beauty, full of life.
Of souls hidden, of treasures of the Holy Spirit, of fountains of strength, of greatness and beauty.
Proudly I ascend toward the heights of the world's soul that gives life to the universe.
Majestic division, common joy, common peace, grace delight, taste and see of God is good.
Why spend your substance on what does not nourish, and your labor on what cannot satisfy? Listen to me, and you will enjoy what is good, and find delight in what is truly precious. And at the top of page 63, our song and blessing for peace. Shalom. And we pause now for our own private and personal moments of peace and gratitude and reflection. At the top of page 66 is Tefillat Haleh, a prayer of the heart. Oseh Shalom. Yerushalayim shel zahav, v'shel nechoshet, v'shel or, halo lecho shirayich ani kino. In August of 2003, and along with my 64 darling classmates, I arrived in Jerusalem to begin my required year in Israel for rabbinical school. Despite hours of airport and flying time, the ecstasy of returning to our Jewish homeland, the relief of arriving at the lovely apartment that would be home for my family and I for the next 12 months, and a fair amount of jet lag, I made my way in the setting sun and on foot to the hotel. I could not wait till after unpacking. I could not wait till after a good night's rest. I could not wait till the next day. I needed, after years of absence, to see and press my palms and cheek against her stones once again. In the months that followed, and notwithstanding schoolwork, I returned to the hotel as often as possible, including the morning of my departure back to North America and for more years of learning in Cincinnati. We think of the iconic image of Israeli soldiers during 1967's Six-Day War, moments before having liberated the hotel from Jordanian forces, looking up in awe at the wall's ancient stones. We think of the countless photographs of persons praying at the hotel. We think of those who place notes of hope and prayer between her cracks. And we think of the Israeli singer-composer Naomi Shemir's haunting anthem, Yerushalayim Shel Zahav. Uvidameti lam va'even shavuya b'chaloma ha'ir asher boded yoshevet uvili b'choma. And in the slumber of trees and stone, captive in her dream, a city that sits solitary, and in its midst is a wall. The hotel in Jerusalem is central to the life of every Jew. Those who preceded us, those yet to be born, and those of every persuasion of Judaism, even if she or he does not identify with a particular persuasion. The hotel is our spiritual crux. At the hotel, we are never far from God. But at this moment, along with the alarming geopolitical crisis involving Iran, the United States, Israel, and the entire Middle East, a crisis of another sort has unfolded, and that involves the hotel. Orthodox and right-wing members of the Knesset, Israel's parliament, have advanced legislation that would establish absolute control over prayer at the hotel by Israel's chief rabbinate, control extending to the women's section at the hotel proper, as well as the egalitarian section at adjacent Robinson's Arch. Law-breaking of any sort, including women bringing and attempting to chant from a Torah scroll, women wearing talit, women wearing tefillin, women wearing kippot, or men and women endeavoring to pray together in the area at Robinson's Arch will result in prison sentences of up to 7 years. This includes families, both Israelis and from abroad, that have long celebrated Simchot in mixed gender fashion at Robinson's Arch. For Jews everywhere, this legislation is terribly unsettling. For Jews everywhere, this legislation is cause for anger and disillusionment. Should such legislation become law, the message from Israel's leadership will be that liberal and progressive Judaism in any form will not count. Egalitarian celebration of Judaism will not count. Religious pluralism in the Jewish homeland will not count. Jews from outside Israel, unless they are Orthodox in practice and worldview, will not count. This legislation is contrary to our understanding of Israel as a democracy, imbued as it is with the freedom to vote, work, learn, travel, speak one's heart and mind, and where religious expression is honored, and where, in keeping with Judaism's golden rule, we are to love all our others as ourselves. This legislation is contrary to Kalal Yisrael, that we are one universal Jewish community. It is contrary to the words of the Talmud, Kol Yisrael Arevim Zeh Bazeh. All Jews are responsible for one another. It is contrary to our understanding of the Mishkan, also known as the tabernacle, God's dwelling place among Israel in the wilderness, and God's dictum that my house shall be a house of prayer for all people. Everything happens for a reason. No coincidence that this week's Torah text includes the golden calf narrative. A midrash on this text teaches that when Moses' brother Aaron demanded gold rings and bracelets and necklaces from the Israelites to mold and sculpt the calf, the women, in their understanding of the folly of such a deed, refused to do so. They said no to idolatry. They said yes to God and Torah. So at this moment, you and I must say no. No to an Israeli government determined to marginalize, if not outright eradicate, liberal and progressive Judaism in our homeland. We must say yes to religious pluralism. We must say yes to egalitarianism and inclusion. We must say yes to all our others, and we must say yes to celebrating our Judaism in all her beautiful forms at the Kotel in Jerusalem. Can you hear that song? May it be God's will. Please turn to page 132 in your Siddur. We turn our thoughts and our hearts to those we know who are in need of healing, in need of comfort, in need of consolation, those who are homebound or hospitalized, those who are in mourning or grief-stricken. And they are Susan Dean Norton, Hubert Brown, Cass Berkman, Richard Trober, Simon Trober, Rachel Shoshana Bat-Rivka, Charlie Bowden, Barry Williams, Rachel Spielman, Sylvana Tuzak, Cheryl Shine, Ross Pollock, Yvonne Wilson, Martha Steinmetz, Harvey and Marlene Friedman, Rick Valentine, Adela Zur, Jean Elizabeth Pitt, Bob Smith, Sharon Beer, Manucha Yenta, and Reverend Joanne Hedge. And to these names we may add others we know who are in need of healing. As I gesture across our space, they are Thank you all. For those in need of healing, Misha Baruch, the one who blesses those who are in need of healing, page 132. Page 135, our prayer for the state of Israel. Please join me in just the first sentence in Hebrew, and then we will continue with the rest in English at the bottom of that page. Sur Yisrael v'go'alo, barech na et medinat Yisrael, hagishmat tikvatenu. Rock and Redeemer of Israel, place your blessing upon the state of Israel, the realization of our hope for a Jewish homeland. Send your light and your truth to all its inhabitants. Restore them the shelter of your peace. Bestow sacrifice to your judges and representatives, that they may choose justice, freedom, and integrity. This is a blessing upon all your people Israel, wherever we dwell. Let the love of God in our hearts, your steadfast grace to walk upon the shore. May the vision of your prophet Isaiah soon be fulfilled. For standing and turn to page 149 for Elena. Please turn to page 154. When cherished ties are broken and the chain of love is shattered, only trust and the strength of faith can lighten the heaviness of the heart. At times, the pain of separation seems more than we can bear, but if we dwell too long on our loss, we embitter our hearts and harm ourselves and those about us. The psalmist said that in his affliction, he learned the law of God, and in truth, grief is a great teacher. When it sends us back to serve the place of living, we learn to counsel and comfort those who like ourselves are bowed in sorrow. We learn when to keep silence in their presence, and when a word will assure of our love and concern. And so, even when they are gone, the departed are still with us, moving us to live just as they themselves, in their higher moments, wish to live. We remember them now, they live in our hearts. They are an abiding blessing. And tonight, for your sight, that is the anniversary of passing. Solel remembers for your sight, and those who are observing your sight may rise. Harvey Greenberg, Andrea Kalmafter, Felicia Georgescu, Daryl Kruger, Yetta Levy, Harvey Palter, Molly Mathras, Solomon Lewis Van Teen, Yetta Botnick, Ron Botnick, Julius Botnick, Ida Davidson, Marilyn Davidson Dorahi, John Roloff, Abraham Stover, Ruth Harris, Florence Zalding, Herman Smith, George Zimmerman, Israel Markovich, Elizabeth Bedwell, Leo Fang, Rita Pitch, Seema Atkin, Jerry Lewis, Pauline Portnoy, Joseph Nathanson. And to these names, we may add those of others who are always in our hearts, and they are. Our loved ones are always with us. we can still see their faces. We can still hear their voices. We can still feel their arms around us and our arms around them. They're always with us. As we rise on page 159 for Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, and our praising of God. Yikadav Yikadash Merabah, Yalama Deva Kirte Yami Pamte, Bakaye Honam Yometon, Ukaye Kolbe Israel, Bagav Isman Kariv Yimruame, Yeshme Baba, Barak Lailam, Mulayamai, Yitrak, Ishtabak, Yitar, Vitramam, Yiznase, Yitar, Yitare, Yitar, Shnei, Tushar, Yihu, Yela, Min, Kodata, Shirata, Tushkata, Nehamata, Yamyan, Yamah, Yimruame, Yeshma, Rabba, Shemaya, Israel, Yimruame, Oseh, Yimruama, Yes, may the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, Amen. You may be seated. On page 163, welcome John to the front of the sanctuary to lead us all in Kiddush. Please rise.
Erev Yom HaShishi. Now the whole universe, sky, earth, and all their array was completed. With the seventh day, God had ended the work of creation and rested with all work completed. Then God blessed the seventh day and called it holy, for with this day God had completed the work of creation. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam, asher tishanu b'mishpatav ve'asavanu, v'shabat kosho ve'avanu rasam nifnanu, zikaron v'nasir v'bereshit, ki yom tikva v'mikra kodesh, zefer tziyah mitzrayim, ki banu v'echara, v'anu kidasha, b'kol ha'amim, v'shabat koshecha, ve'ahavu razon, inaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, v'kadesh Hashem.
L'chaim, everyone. Refuah shlema. You may be seated, and there congregational announcements.
Thanks, Rabbi Sefer. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and a special Shabbat Shalom to all of those who are joining us on the live stream tonight. And thanks also to Rabbi Tepper for leading the service, and Albert Amar for providing the musical accompaniment, and to Joel Brown, our tech volunteer, to Mikkel Hansen, our shamas, and Frank Carperita. So, as usual, for current activities, updates, and announcements, please take a look at the shamas and subscribe to the Solel Facebook, Instagram, and accounts. We have a reminder that Solel charitable receipts, taxable receipts, have been mailed to you. So if you haven't received yours yet, please check your files, including your junk bulk files. Solel's second Seder registration is open for this on Thursday, April the 2nd. It'll be at 6 p.m. Information and forms are available in the Solel lobby, the Shamus edition, so you can call the office, and the deadline is March the 24th. On Sunday, March the 8th, it's the Sunday, daylight saving time begins, so you have to turn your clocks an hour forward, which means that 8 safer, so that I was going to feel it starting a lot earlier. And so will the adult education study group. So 8 safer starts at 10 a.m. And the adult education group continues to meet in the library at 10:30 a.m. to 12 noon or live on Zoom. And the Twisted Camel rehearsal follows 8 safer classes at 12 noon in the sanctuary. Regular Erev Shabbat services next week, tomorrow, next week, and Shabbat service next Saturday. On Sunday, March the 15th and March the 22nd, we have March break, so there will be no 8 safer classes or adult study. On Tuesday, March the 17th, you can join Arlene with our guest speaker, Lynn Mitchell, for the next Lunch and Learn, and the topic is Women Wage Peace, Canada East. And that will be in person or on Zoom at 11:30. Bring your lunch, a friend, coffee, and dessert will follow. And on Tuesday, March the 31st, Lunch and Learn with Michael Shapiro, and that will be at 11:30 again. And the topic is Ketubas, Jewish marriage contract documents. And a chance to ask your own questions. So bring your lunch and a friend, and saying the story. There's a Zoom link as well. And then we are fortunate that our rabbinic student, Zach Harper, will be returning to Mississauga during the summer break for his studies in Israel. And he's also graciously offered to teach some Hebrew classes and train people who want to learn how to chant for Torah. So if you get enough interest, we'll try and arrange mutually convenient times to meet Zach in person at Solel for these classes in June and July. And please let the office know if you're interested. Thank you, Rabbi Satan.
Thank you very, very much, John, for sharing all of that with us. And thank every single one of you, because each of you, in your own way, contributed to our celebration of Shabbat tonight. So thank you all. Very special thanks to Albert, our accompanist tonight. Very, very grateful. And I look forward to being with you and others again tomorrow for Shabbat morning, and also in April for Passover, and returning again in May for Shabbat. So I am blessed. I'm very blessed and very lucky. Thank you. So we have a closing song followed by priestly blessing, and our closing song on page.
We're going to do a different one.
Oh,
Thank you, Rabbi. And in honor of your dvar, I'd like to do a different song. Abi haritzu kayayim ve'ach kol ha'abim v'saberu achar habayim im kol pa'am Yerushalayim Hashem zahar v'shel choshen v'shel or ha'ol echol shirari Unfortunately, I don't know all the Hebrew words, but that's better than nothing. Shabbat shalom.
beautiful. Thank you. Please rise once more. Yevarechecha Adonai Yishmerecha, Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God bless you and take care of you. May God be kind and gracious to you. May God favor you and bring you peace. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.